Hi, Bruce McIntoon does it all. Today we're going to do a public service announcement about Lyme disease or any tick-borne illness really. Rocky Mountain spotted fever is another version of it, but different ticks both give very similar symptoms that everybody could get, but you should know about it because if you don't know about it and you get it, you could be sick and feeling terrible for a long time and not know it, and if you don't get treated right away, the symptoms get worse and they can last a lot longer and a lot harder to deal with, and you can cause really severe problems for your health, and you could potentially even die. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel if you like what you're seeing. Alright, so also I have some things that I wrote down because I want to make sure I give you all the right information about the tick-borne diseases. So typically symptoms will start 3 to 30 days. It's always different with everybody. The telltale signs typically are you may have a bullseye rash where the tick bites you. Myself, when I got it, fortunately we saw the tick and we pulled it off. I didn't get a big bullseye rash, but I saw the tick and I knew that I had been bit by one, so when I started getting symptoms I kind of knew what to look for and what I should do to get it taken care of. Other things you could feel muscle aches, fevers, chills, fatigue, joint pain. It can lead to heart disease. You could be having some eye trouble, hepatitis, chronic joint pain. So these are things that you need to do. First and most important thing is to go get antibiotics right away. If you feel like you have these, go in, get to the doctor, let them check you out. Myself, when I went to the doctor, he was thinking about having tests to find out what kind of tick disease it was, but really that doesn't matter because the most important thing is getting on antibiotics no matter what tick you've been bit by. If it's a tick bite. If you have something else, go into the doctor, let them run some tests, let them find out from your symptoms what it is that you might have. Maybe you just happen to have a fever, or maybe you have something else going on and it's not from a tick, but if you have a tick bite. Also, one thing that I didn't do, if you keep the tick, if you find a tick on you, you keep the tick so they can test that tick and then they'll know exactly what it is that you got a lot faster. It'll save you a bunch of time if you happen to have the tick so they can do the testing on it. Alright, for the Rocky Mountain specifically, theirs is 3 to 12 days, so it's a little bit faster than the Lyme disease. The Lyme disease, however, the treatment sometimes can be longer with your antibiotics. I was fortunate. My symptoms were I had some swelling in my wrists, just pain I should say, and then my feet. When I was walking, I could hardly walk because it felt like I sprained my foot, like right in the middle of my foot. It just felt sprained, and so I could hardly walk my dog. And then it moved into my ankles and my elbows. It was kind of moving all over the place, so I really felt like my body was trying to fight something. And then it kind of was just everywhere. Just my knees had kind of swollen up. So went into the doctor, told him all my symptoms. He got me on antibiotics right away. I was within 3 to 5 days of when I got my tick bite. So getting it treated right away is the most important thing. We know some people that they had the Lyme disease and they didn't know it for over a year, and he has a lot of problems with his joints and stuff, and that's probably never going to get better because it didn't get treated right away. The doctors tested him for all kinds of things, but they never even thought about Lyme disease. So really important, go see your doctor, find out if it's from a tick. That should be one of your first questions. If you're having joint pain, joint swelling, and you didn't do anything, if you weren't exercising, you weren't out doing something that could have caused it, and you're starting to have these symptoms and they're kind of going all over the place, that'd be a very important thing to get done. Sorry, I have an ant on my leg. Alright, something we learned during our researching the ticks is a tick is actually just a spider. It's a parasitic arachnid. It's a sucking spider. So that was interesting. Didn't actually know there were spiders. Other symptoms that I didn't mention before is you could have severe headache, you could have vomiting. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can look up online and find out if it's related to getting bit by a tick. Another thing that I found out that I had heard from somebody else who had been bitten by a tick, and I didn't really realize I was having it as a symptom, but I was having memory issues. I noticed that I was doing workout and I was forgetting what number I was on. Like, I was only counting to 5. So I'd be on number 2 and I'm like, I couldn't remember if I was on 4 or 2 or 3. So I started feeling like memory issues, and that's something that they said they were having. Alzheimer's is what some people kind of felt like maybe they were getting Alzheimer's, but it was really from the tick. So there's a lot of different symptoms that tick-borne illnesses can cause. So it's really important to get it treated. Preventatives that you can do to stop from getting a tick bite. One is, don't just think because you're in your backyard, you're okay. Because typically if you cut your lawn a little bit short so that the ticks don't have that place to live and jump up on you, that helps a lot. If you just have a little bit longer grass, the ticks can live in there and they can jump on your pets, jump on you, wherever. So just being in your backyard, you got to be careful about ticks no matter where you are. It's not just in the woods. Then another thing that you can do is make sure your clothing, when I go out into the woods and I'm going to go do hunting or something, if I'm looking for mushrooms or just going on a walk in a prairie, I typically will tuck my pant legs, if I'm wearing pants, in my sock and pull my sock up over my pant leg, and then you tuck your shirt in, or you put a belt around your shirt. Usually I like to tuck my shirt in because then the ticks have to crawl on the outside, and a lot of times you can see them before they get onto your skin. So usually you're going to want to wear long sleeve clothing too. Even if it's hot out, try to just layer up with, I know there's clothes out there that I wear, they're basically like sunscreen, but they're a shirt that you can wear when you're out fishing. Wear long sleeve shirts like that to protect you. It also protects you from the sun, so 2 for 1. Let's see, what else do we got on our list? Get your dogs and your cats treated for the ticks so that they've got either a collar or a spray, whatever works best for your animals if you've got them. You can use a bug spray to spray on yourself to try and keep them off. Make sure you shower when you get done being in the outdoors. Go out, take a shower, then you can look in the mirror and see if you have any ticks on you. Some of them are really small. Typically I found the smaller they are, the more likely are those are the ones that have it. But it could be a bigger one too. You never know. So make sure you get them off. If one is biting you, you want to make sure you get a tweezers or something to pull it off. You want to try and get as much of the sucker out of your skin as possible. Then go ahead and get some antibiotic on there. Right away, clean it, wash it really good. Try and get any of the poison out of there. But don't just grab at a tick and pull it as far away as you can, because you'll break off part of their mouth or whatever it is that's inside that does all the sucking and the transfers. The disease that's inside them actually gets put inside you when they take the blood out. So that's how you end up getting the disease. So you want to get that pulled out as best you can, clean it real well, and that should help you be prevented. And like I said, just keep track of it, and when you go outside, start feeling ill in the next 3 to 30 days, you might want to go get checked out. So, because treatment as soon as possible is the best to make sure that you don't have any long-term effects from a tick bite. Thank you.